All right, hold on, Polight. I got one caller calling in. I ain't even opened up the phone lines, but I'm going to open up the phone lines right now. Peace and Black Power family. What's your name and where you calling from?
I can't rock with this.
What's up with the brother? It's the brother Gorilla Hebrew. I'm calling out of Atlanta, GA.
Oh, shit. Gorilla Hebrew calling it in. What's up, man? Have you been listening to the show?
All praise. Yeah, I'm listening. You know, I don't agree with everything Polight is saying. I will agree that he is saying some good things. I kind of don't agree with the methodology, but I had to call in and say something, man.
Go ahead, brother.
You know, it's quite frankly, brother, it's yet another display of the hypocrisy of Brother Polight. You get on here and you say we need to ridicule the black people who are organizing different groups of black gangs to go against each other, as if you didn't get on Sign of the TV with Crips and Bloods and start threatening Hebrew Israelite organizations, brother.
They ain't tell me chill. Fuck that. Fuck that. They gonna have me there and you say some shit.
My little wild young boy. My little young wild boys.
Yeah.
You know that. We colorblind around here.
Colorblind.
They ain't Crips, Blood, all that shit. Fuck you talking about, nigga. They spread like cancer, kill like Harry, faggot. Fuck out of here.
Bang, sex, money, murder. 252, murder gang, blood royal, you heard?
Groove gang all day. And me and him both buff your motherfucker.
Buff your ass from both sides.
Real color bang
Season
over
B.
here. Fuck with real niggas, real recognize
all
real
day. Season bleeds. And you slipping, you will leak, pussy.
And you fuck with, and if you think you gonna fuck with, and you think you gonna fuck with Polight, you gonna get it from both sides. You faggot ass niggas.
Bloods and Crips, nigga.
To do violence to them. Are we going to erase that from history? Are we going to forget that that happened?
I like to respond.
All right, go ahead and respond, Brother Polight.
Hey, peace to you, brother. Gorilla Hebrew, first and foremost. And as always, my brothers always make it about me, but it's okay. So let's do this. Are we just going to ignore the fact that those brothers were saying to Sidnetta and I that they was going to kill our family, they was going to kill our babies, they was going to kill our wife? And
no,
now we're doing
they said God was going to do it, not them.
Hold on, my brother. I didn't cut you off, good brother.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, it was okay for them to make those threats that when they see us on site, they're going to kill our, mind you, this was only because our difference in opinion and religion. They was going to kill our wife, kill our babies, and kill us. And Sunday, we're going to kill you too. Exact quote. After they was done killing my baby, they went on to sign that and said they're going to kill him too. And not with the sword that the Lord's saying. He prayed that he got, when he see him in person, he cut him with a real fucking sword. So we're going to ignore all of that. And because these guys are Hebrew Israelites, we're supposed to say, no banging. So you see, this is what we're doing again. We're making excuses because the streets are not loyal. So you see what the streets do again? Yo, we can threaten to kill your wife and your baby, you and your friend. But if you guys decide to fight back, yo, those are Hebrew Israelites. You shouldn't do that. We're doing the bullshit all over again. So what I'm saying to you, my brother, when my gang member brothers came in, they ain't come in as gang members. They came in as brothers supporting their brother and say, yo, if you listen to the video, they was dejecting their misogynistic, anti-kill the black woman claims. And that bitch, the black woman you call God, she gonna bleed too. We gonna kill her too. His exact words on the video. So what you saw was grown men saying, yo, if this is what type of time you guys are on, this is how we gonna give it up. So it wasn't like they was gang banging against Hebrews. They were saying, damn, these brothers are threatening the lives of Brother Sidnetta and Brother Polight, threatening to murder their children and their wives, and then just in general say, fuck that black woman you call a God, that bitch that bleed every month, we gonna kill her too.
Damn, Polight, you remember every word, huh?
And I played the damn video.
And as you said, I'm like, yo, I remember all that now.
All of that.
Yep. Damn.
And so what I'm saying, my brother, Gorilla Hebrew, though I disagree with you, I don't hate you. What I'm saying, my good brother, is that even in that, I wish I exercised, I don't wish, but I could have exercised better judgment and say, you know, brothers, you know, stand down. But in at that moment, I'm like, yo, I could walk these streets, and what if they really feeling like that? So, you know, we gave it up like that. But I'll tell you this, it'd have been more mature to not respond like that and be a little more patient and see how I could exercise better judgment and encourage them a different way.
It was a reaction. It was a reaction. That's what it was.
But let's not ignore that other stuff. But I understand what you're saying. I understand you totally. I could have exercised better leadership with my brothers from the gang life and communicate to them that we don't need you to respond on a low frequency like our brother Hebrew Israelites. Let them be the only one on record for talking like that.
All right, Gorilla Hebrew, you want to respond or you good?
Yeah, I'm with you all the way. And just for the record, I in no way, of course, condone anybody could go back to the tape. We was all beefing with them at that period of time. And, you know, they were making similar claims about all of us.
Yeah, because they was GMS. They was GMS.
Yeah. So, you know, that was all going on. But, you know, the whole thing, you know, and of course, growth, sometimes we react. We've all done it. So, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to make sure, you know, that, you know, we stay as consistent as possible. I certainly feel as if also you letting 6ix9ine off the hook a little bit. 6ix9ine decided to hop off the porch and play in that game when he didn't have to. A friend of mine, a close friend of mine, a homie, a gang comrade from my gang, you understand what I'm saying, was signed to Treyway, was with these dudes in New York every day. He never participated in any of that.
Let me ask you a question, Gorilla. Real quick.
Yeah.
You going away, doing your music, right, on tours. These
Yes,
your brothers who you love, who you respect, and they hitting your baby mama. They kidnap you. They almost kill your ass. They beat you up. They try to kidnap your mother. Are you telling me, Gorilla Hebrew, you would have just did the time for those unloyal brothers who didn't show you no loyalty? Now keep it real with me, Gorilla. You wouldn't have tried to get even? You would have just went up in the prison and just ate all of that time by yourself while they out there free.
I would have certainly tried to get even, but I wouldn't have told on nobody.
But how you gonna get even? How? You locked up. You locked up.
If I'm playing the game, first off, he got money. If I'm playing the game, whether I'm locked up or not, somebody can still get touched. That's
listen, Gorilla. You know these real niggas don't respect him, so they would probably take his money. You don't know. They would take the money.
Man, none of that exists in prison.
Listen, it's possible, but at the same time, if he's cool and we already know that he was connected to somebody who's related to El Chapo, so let's say the real niggas don't respect him. He could go to the Mexican route, and they got one of the largest reaches that you've ever heard of that could get you in any country damn near in the Americas and touch you, guaranteed. You understand what I'm saying? So that if you go play the street game, you got and also we have to understand this guy committed crime. This guy put money on people's heads, and people attempted to carry those hits out. He cannot be vindicated for that. He did that. He tried to get somebody, a black man, murdered, paid another black man to do it.
But look, see, Gorilla, there you go. When you say he did that, you don't think these dudes was behind him because he had the money? Because he's out front doing it, you think he's calling the shots. He's not calling the shots because hold on. Don't you know that they had so much pressure on this nigga? Like, yo, if you don't do this, we gonna do this, or we could do that. Right. So, brother, what is you talking about? Y'all gotta look at the whole picture.
They didn't start him. He manufactured an issue between him and Chief Keef that led to him putting money on Chief Keef's head, and for Cool to be to go and chase him into the W and shoot at him, and then him to tell the police, Cool to be the nigga I paid for it, and now Kuda's released right now because he's awaiting sentences because of COVID, but they about to send him back in jail when all this stuff clicks. He's gonna be right back on the island.
Man, hold on, Gorilla, you my brother. I love you, brother. But when you're wrong, I gotta say you're wrong. And why am I saying that? Because you are working for the Almighty God, brother. You're supposed to be like, fuck all that bullshit that they talking about. All them niggas can get it. That's the way. Hold on, let me finish.
You're right.
Let me finish, brother. You should not be concerned with none of this shit that these niggas doing because they are not living the word of God. All these niggas are savages. I'm not taking Tekashi's side. I'm not taking their side. That's what I expect to hear from my brother Gorilla.
Stop. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. I grew up in a gang. I was gang banging at 9 years old. I got shot at 14 years old. They pulled me out of summer school with a lineup of faces. I didn't say no names about who shot me. I grew up in this. I understand all of the.
You wasn't a Hebrew at that time. You wasn't a Hebrew.
But when I became a Hebrew, I understand that I was set up as a vessel to go back to these same people who came up in the same way and lead them out. And I've successfully done it plenty of times. I got name a gang in America, Black or Latino. I've got every single one of them in my organization right now. From MS-13, 18th Street, Crips, Bloods, Blacks, P-Stones, I got all of them here because I was able to reach them on a level in which they could understand because I can relate. I'm not somebody telling you not to retaliate, not to kill somebody who hasn't also had to fight that temptation, which is honestly one of the hardest things that you can do. When Pac said revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy, he was telling the whole truth. To resist the urge to ride on your own people, but understanding why it's wrong to do it is something that's hard, but it's also powerful. So I can empower other brothers with that. So I'm not just going to say they're living like savages. To hell with them. I'm not giving up on now one of them brothers. Really? They can get locked up. Like, we're not giving up on them brothers by any means. Go ahead, King.
Okay, my brother. So watch this. I had a fight. We were slap boxing. The slap boxing got real. So we was like, yo, we have to shoot the 5. So we threw our hands up. We fought. I got the best of them. I had the advantage because I grew up boxing. I whipped him out. I didn't want to fight. He thought I was scared. I whipped him out. He did what he had to do. He moved on. He came back, shot at me. There's no rules in the streets because if I would have told on him for shooting at me, I would have been the guy everyone's mad at. No one's mad that I threw my hands up like a fucking man. And he got beat up and he could at least came back. I could say, yo, I don't want to fight again because I've been through those. And the nigga be like, yo, we gonna fight every day till I come up on you, nigga. So he didn't do that. One fight was all he needed and he went and he got a gun. And if I would have told that he got a gun, everyone would be mad at me, but everyone's ignoring the fact this motherfucker got a gun. There is no criticism for the nigga who does that shit. That's the streets. That's the code that we're protecting. You see those Hebrew Israelites we was talking about? You made it clear. You made a clear distinction amongst them and you. You did that. You went out your way and was like, yo, that's not me. That's them. And we all didn't like them. But what if somebody turned around, right? Because you see Tekashi, he's like that. You're the real Hebrew and those niggas is the fake Hebrews, as we will put it. Well, Tekashi is the fake gang member and those are the real gang members. So if we held you to a standard of GMS, you would be like, yo, bro, that's not even a real nigga. So why we doing that? But so now you want to hold Tekashi to a standard of a real gang member. Right. He's a GMS. He's not a real gang member. So you can't have it both ways. Either you are down with GMS or you are different from them. And so don't hold you to the same standard as GMS. And in this case, either Tekashi, if you believe he was a gangster, then I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you and I understand where you're coming from. But if you think Tekashi is not a gangster, and if you knew from the gate he wasn't a gangster, and the hell with what you think, respectfully, did the people who put him in his organization know that he wasn't a gangster? Did they know that we was putting a non-on code, non-G in their circle? Because if they knew they was putting somebody in their circle that isn't from the streets, then they have to anticipate in the event of a stark circumstance, such as the feds running down on you, the probability or the likelihood of him snitching would be higher than normal because he's not on code. He's never been on code because he's never been a gang member. That's how I look at it. No more than if Sana is not a vegan, I can't hold him to a certain standard if I see him eat a chicken sandwich. I have to say, everyone would say, yo, Polight, you're dumb. But in the streets, I would actually be intelligent for getting mad at him in the streets. But in a community with sane people, they would say, yo, Polight, he's not even vegan. So why are you holding him to that standard in the first place? That's what anybody would do. You feel what I'm saying, my brother Grla Hebrew? I never thought he was a gangster, so I never will hold him to a criteria to be obliged to Black people who sold us out to put him up front to sell a genocidal message against Black people. I don't think I'm passing the buck when it comes to Tekashi. I'm just not that concerned with him. I'm more concerned with Black people focusing on the Mexican who was put in position to turn against a disorganized Black group of people. That's
Thank you. Let me get to the next caller. Gorilla, you want to close out? Go ahead. You got the last word, brother.
Yeah, just in closing, I understand what you're saying totally, and we never need to just isolate and highlight just one aspect because there was a lot of failures there. You from Brooklyn, you know the Roe murders, you know the Mel murders, we know those names. They put a battery in that young man's back. That's a fact. And they set themselves up for that situation because we know them names ring, and we know that if I was just some nobody off the street and I had them niggas behind me, I'd have been feeling like I was Superman too, right? But also there was a choice that he didn't make because, like I said, my homeboy was right with all of them, and you know where he was at every day while they was doing the bullshit? He was in the studio trying to get his music career off the ground because he already knows the streets is over. So Tekashi had a choice, and he needs to be held accountable for that choice. But also, all of those men do need to also be held accountable. Peace. Thanks for your time, brother. Shalom.
Peace, brother.